In the midst of a world torn by conflict and faith, a young soul rose with a fire that could not be quenched. Estanislao Kostka, a Jesuit novice, faced trials far greater than his years, driven by a vision that reached beyond the ordinary. Born into privilege, yet choosing the path of humility, his journey would be marked by courage, devotion, and a steadfast heart. This is not just a tale of a boy's faith, but the story of a warrior of the spirit, whose youthful zeal sparked a legacy within the Society of Jesus. Through dangers, sacrifices, and moments of divine grace, Estanislao's light pierced the darkness, inspiring countless souls to follow the call of God with unwavering resolve. Join us as we follow Estanislao through the halls of noble courts, the rigorous training of the Jesuit order, and the mystical encounters that shaped a saint. His story is a testament to the power of faith, even in the face of overwhelming odds. This is the story of Saint Estanislao Kostka, the youthful flame of the Jesuits. His spirit still calls us onward. Chapter 1. The Spark of a Calling. In the heart of 16th century Poland, amid the turmoil of shifting kingdoms and religious upheaval, a boy was born whose life would blaze a path of faith and courage. Estanislao Kostka entered the world in 1550 into a noble family, surrounded by privilege and expectation. But from the very beginning, it was clear he was no ordinary child. From a young age, Estanislao showed a spirit far beyond his years. While other boys his age were captivated by games and courtly distractions, he sought solitude and silence. In quiet corners of his family's grand home, he would kneel in prayer, his heart aflame with a longing for something greater than the comforts of wealth or status. He was drawn to the life of the Spirit, a life dedicated to God. His education was rigorous, as befitted a young nobleman. Tutors prepared him in the arts of language, philosophy, and the sciences. Yet, Estanislao's mind was fixed not on worldly success, but on a higher calling. He was fascinated by the stories of saints and martyrs, those who had given everything for their faith. Their courage inspired him deeply, and he began to dream of joining the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, a brotherhood of warriors of the Spirit. But this dream was not welcomed by all. His family had different plans, expecting him to follow a path of power, prestige, and political alliances. They could not understand his desire to renounce worldly honors for a life of poverty, prayer, and service. The tension grew as Estanislao stood firm in his resolve. At just 13 years old, Estanislao made a bold decision that would change his life forever. Defying his family's wishes, he left home and journeyed to Vienna, determined to enter the Jesuit novitiate. The road was difficult, filled with uncertainty and challenges. He faced illness, loneliness, and the heavy burden of leaving behind everything familiar. Yet through it all, Estanislao's faith burned brighter. He endured the hardships with a courage that seemed almost otherworldly for a boy so young. His devotion, discipline, and unwavering trust in God made him a beacon of hope to those around him. The young novice's story was just beginning, a tale of sacrifice, perseverance, and divine grace. Estanislao Kostka's spark of a calling would soon become a flame that inspired generations to come. Chapter 2. Trials on the Path of Faith. After his courageous journey to Vienna, Estanislao Kostka entered the Jesuit novitiate, stepping into a new world of discipline, learning, and spiritual struggle. But this new chapter was far from easy. The path he had chosen demanded more than youthful enthusiasm. It required a steadfast heart and an unbreakable spirit. The novitiate was a place of rigorous training, both of mind and soul. Estanislao faced early mornings filled with prayers, long hours of study, and strict rules designed to shape him into a true soldier of Christ. The demands were exhausting, and for a boy who had once lived in noble comfort, the austerity was harsh. But what truly tested him were the shadows of doubt and temptation that crept quietly into his heart. The weight of separation from his family pressed heavily on him. Letters and news from home brought reminders of the world he had left behind, and at times, he wrestled with loneliness and uncertainty. Yet, Estanislao did not falter. In the quiet moments of night, when the world seemed dark and distant, he turned to prayer with a fierce intensity. His conversations with God were filled with honesty, his hopes, fears, and burning desire to serve. It was in these moments that his faith grew stronger, tempered like steel in the fire. His spiritual guides recognized something extraordinary in the young novice. Estanislao's devotion was not merely youthful zeal. It was a profound calling that radiated from within. He was known for his humility, his kindness to others, and his extraordinary discipline. One of the most remarkable parts of his journey was the mystical experiences that marked his spiritual growth. It is said that Estanislao was often visited by visions of angels and saints who strengthened him during his trials. These moments of divine encounter fueled his determination and comforted him amid hardship. But even the physical toll was severe. During his novitiate, Estanislao fell gravely ill. His young body, worn down by rigorous discipline and relentless spiritual battles, began to fail. Yet, through suffering, his spirit remained unbroken. He accepted his trials with a serene faith that inspired those around him. Though his earthly journey would be brief, Estanislao Kostka's unwavering commitment to his faith and his resilience in the face of trial would leave a lasting legacy. His story teaches us that true strength lies not in ease, but in the courage to persevere when the world grows dark. Chapter 3: The Final Battle and Eternal Victory. As Estanislao Kostka's health continued to decline, the battle he faced grew ever more fierce, not against enemies of flesh and blood, but against the final and greatest adversary, death itself. Yet even in this ultimate trial, his spirit blazed brighter than ever. Confined to his sickbed, far from the vibrant halls of the novitiate and the familiar faces of family, Estanislao's body weakened day by day. But his soul soared higher, unshackled by pain or fear. He embraced his suffering as a sacred offering, a final test of his devotion and love for God. In those quiet, solitary moments, Estanislao's prayers were like a trumpet call, strong, unwavering, and filled with hope. He asked not for healing, but for the grace to remain faithful until the very end. His heart beat with a warrior's courage, ready to cross from this life into the next. Friends and fellow Jesuits gathered around him, inspired and humbled by his serene acceptance and luminous faith. They witnessed a young man whose life, though brief, had burned with a passion and purity few could match. As the moment of his passing approached, a profound peace settled over Estanislao. It was as if angels themselves had come to carry him home. The struggles, the trials, the pain, all faded into the light of eternity. His death was not an end, but a triumphant beginning. Estanislao Kostka entered into the everlasting embrace of the divine, becoming a beacon of hope and courage for generations to come. His legacy reminds us that the greatest victory is found not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it with unwavering faith and love. Through his example, countless souls have been inspired to persevere, to believe, and to carry their own crosses with strength and grace. The story of Saint Estanislao Kostka is a testament to the power of youthful faith and the eternal reward that awaits those who dedicate their lives to the service of God. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the remarkable life of Saint Estanislao Kostka. His story of faith, courage, and unwavering devotion continues to inspire hearts around the world. We hope his example has touched you and strengthened your own path of faith. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please consider subscribing to our channel for more inspiring stories of saints and heroes. Your support means the world to us. May the light of Saint Estanislao guide you always.